Hello there, and welcome to today's tutorial. Today we will be covering the topic about how to play intervals on Kantele. When learning to play the Kantele, it's really important to understand what is the interval and how to play it. So what is the interval? The simple definition of it is just the space between two notes. Like this, for example, is the perfect fifth. Intervals are also the basis for larger textures, such as, for example, as chords. So when learning to build the chords, we will need a basic understanding of what is the interval. The intervals are the basis of both major and minor chords. Let's now see what does the major and minor chords sound like. This is the major chord, and it has the major third in its foundation. Now compare it to the minor chord with a minor third in the root. Sounds a little bit more sad. The purpose of learning how to play the intervals is to basically gain the control and strength over the fingers. Kantele has a very sensitive sound, so it is essential to remember to control the balance between two notes when playing the intervals. For example, you can emphasize a higher voice a little bit more by simply rotating the wrist to the right, or just finding the right balance point in your elbow. Remember that the fingers should be curved and that they should immediately relax after plucking the strings. Now let's have a closer look at different types of the intervals. Common rule is that the intervals up to the fifth, like seconds, thirds, fourths and fifths, are plucked with the first and second fingers. The larger intervals, like sixths, sevenths, and the octaves, are usually plucked by first and third or first and fourth fingers. Let's now talk about how to play seconds on the Kantele. The usual fingering for the seconds is first and second, second and third, or sometimes third and fourth fingers. The seconds are always plucked up. When playing the second with the first and second finger, note that the second finger moves towards you, while the thumb actually plucks the string away from yourself. The next intervals that we are going to be covering are thirds and fourths. They're usually plucked with second and third or third and fourth fingers. Let's now have a closer look at how this happens. Alternatively, you can pluck it with second and third, and then third and fourth fingers. Remember to emphasize the higher voice a little bit more than the lower one in order to create a better balance between notes. Now, let's see how to play fifth and sixth. As I mentioned before, they are usually plucked with first and third fingers. And finally, let's move to the octaves. Playing the octaves on Kantele is a little bit more tricky thing to do, since you will have to have quite a good stretching between fingers. The octaves are usually played with second and fourth or first and third fingers, depending on the situation. Let's see how it works now. And now I will play this sequence down and know that I'm going to dampen the higher voice with the fourth finger. An important thing to understand is that every interval sounds different. And with some practice, you will learn to defer one interval from another one. This is an important skill to acquire, which you will need a lot in the future when you need to compose your own melodies or improvise your own music. That is all for now, and we will see again in the next lesson. Take care. Bye.